Okay, is this picking up? Yeah, it's picking up better. A little bit echoey, but it is what we have. It is what we have today, my friends. Um, yeah, I was gonna play some music. Just wanna chill, you know. Hello, everybody. Feel free. Oh, I knew it. I knew that something was hidden. Feel free to say hello in the chat and ask questions and hang out with me. Share anything that you want to share. It's just a time to spend together. Eventually, I will be able to show more of my studio. Right now, I'm just using an old camera that I have, and it's kind of a cropped view. But it is enough. It is enough to see my face, and I didn't want to spend more money. So let's pick some music. Mm. Huh. Session sounds. Sounds interesting. Although I want happy music. Set the table, country fever. I'm looking at Sonos. I have a Spotify account, and usually it allows me to pick these playlists. Sunset Fuzz, chill indie. That sounds the mood. That sounds like the mood. Okay. I don't know about that one. You have to be deep for me today. It says rare grooves. This thing is lower. It sounds fun. Like fun. Let's put it this back. Yep. So I'm gonna be working and dancing. Because when you do art, you wanna move and you wanna groove. Yeah, especially that I'm in that month that I'm feeling not excited. Not excited at all. Let's do this. So I've been working on this section of the birth rate, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's not exactly as the one that Mr. Ray did in the course, but I'm not gonna sweat it much. I'm really not gonna sweat it much. I'm like, yeah, this is good enough. And the only thing is that my clay is so bad. My clay is so bad. It's not soft at all. It's kind of gummy, very gummy. Yeah. And then when it dries, you have to also be careful because it's not really hard. It's more like gummy. Um, yeah. Here it's already crackling. Even though I made sure to make it very put it together, but yeah, it if you don't do it correctly from the beginning, like you really make sure that everything is connected and you leave like some spaces not very solid and connected, eventually it's going to crack again. That's what I'm noticing again and again. It's like, oh gosh, it's cracking, this is raining. So yeah, a lot of lessons to learn when you do this stuff. From time to time, I look at the chat to see if somebody's there. You have to say hello in the chat because if not, I cannot see it. Um, the way I set it up is very convenient for me, but it's not giving me all the information. I guess there are ways to improve upon it, but I'm not so much interested in the technology right now. I'm more interested in creating the habit and getting the momentum and the ball rolling and thinking about what do I want to do and things like that. Um, and I'm patient. I'm patient with this stuff. Really patient. So I don't have to really go too nuts with it. I just need to. The only thing that I think I need to fix is having the same URL for every screen. I don't know if it's possible, but that's what I need to work on. Is like, to work on that. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if. Yeah, I like the music though. It's pretty cool. And I don't know. My idea is to really take these streams down anyway, because if people are going to be talking about their stuff, I'm not going to give it for humanity to see it, even though they don't know who's talking. Um, I am like, no, I don't need to keep a library of live streaming unless it's something really important. I also don't want to overwhelm people with my YouTube channel full of live streams. And it's too much. It's like way too much information. We have information overload for sure. And you might be thinking, to whom is she talking? To you, my friend, to you. To you. Right now, there's nobody here except me. Nobody has shown in my live stream. I didn't promote it too much neither because I wanted to, um, you know, to chill and not be so talk active. Man, that music, not my groove. Definitely not my groove. I mean, it's good, but I'm not. I'm not that style. I'm not that. The other thing I wanted to figure out is like it's a system where people can hang out with me, and we can have like live conversation. People can connect and talk to me, without the need of um, anything like YouTube. YouTube has a big quantity of people. So what am I working on today? The crochet, I did the thoracic, uh, spinal column vertebrae section, which is 12. And I made sure to count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This time it's 12 because yesterday for some reason I was always hitting 13, 13, and I was getting tired of it. And then the neck, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 vertebrae in the neck, which is the standard for mammals. And I have to do the lumbar area, the lumbar vertebrae group. There's 5. So I have to fill this section here. It's just like push it. I'm not worried too much about it. But it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about it. Now, what I need to look at is I'm gonna make this fit, because yeah, you need to kind of go a little bit out there. You needed to go bigger, because this is the strongest area of our back. It has a longer transverse processes. And I think I have to be here to make it work. So yeah, I'm on here, kind of here. Gonna work. I need to cut beneath this. But first, oh man, I'm not a jazzy person. Let me change the music. I cannot stand that type of music. It's really affecting my concentration at this point because I don't like it. I don't go with that vibe. So let's see this one. Rhythmic dance party. Oh gosh, I don't think I'm going to be into that. That's too much of a dance. Need you looking at my PC. Get No. Not my stuff either. I always end up going for the same music again and again. So this is one called Lo-Fi. I really like the Lo-Fi. I'm gonna go for that one. Lo-Fi chill. Yeah. Something relaxing. You know, there's too much stress um to go for that type of loud music. That's for young people. I mean, I like movement. I love playing Beat Saber. I don't know if anybody plays Beat Saber, but if you do, please, I can send me a message and I will add you to my friends and we can compete a little bit and see who's doing what. Yeah. And I wanted to do eventually a Beat Saber channel in Twitch because I know there's a bunch of people playing, but I don't feel they're great players because they don't really enjoy it much. Their dancing is not non-existent, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna bring dancing into the Beat Saber lane, not just to cut stuff for the sake of cutting it, because yeah, you can get good at that. But I think the whole purpose of Beat Saber is to get your entire body to move like you were dancing while cutting, and that's what I care for. So I'm gonna start with the lumbar section of the spine, which is here, these five vertebrae, because they're bigger, they're bulky, so they should be easier for me to work on. And it's funny because they're this. Let me see, one, one, two, three, four, five. The sixth one, which is this one, is kind of like a very specific type of vertebrae. You can tell that it's a different shape. And that's the cool thing about vertebrates is that if you look specifically to each one, they are all different. And each one is changing in order to help the entire chain of action to work properly. So I love it. I'm waiting for somebody to hang out with me. That would be cool. I know there was this platform that people would play music, I think. People would play music for strangers. I think it's a great concept. I think it's cool. But I'm not a musician, so it means like not gonna work. I don't play any music. I cannot help people with that stuff. But I think it's fun. I think it's a great concept, to be honest. Um, I'm not a great musician. I'm just doing my best with art. And I neglected it for so long. I neglected my art for so long. Now I'm coming back to it with seriousness and devotion and love and non-attachment. Not very too specific about the outcome. It's like, yeah, whatever it's gonna be is gonna be. Because I used to be so goal driven of, well, if I cannot monetize this, what's the point of wasting time in something that I cannot pay the bills? And that's a very dangerous toxic uh, train of thought because, and you're going to be like, how is that dangerous? It is. Because art is something that you do for your own satisfaction, for your soul. And if you go into this mode of, oh no, art has to be functional and has to be a servant to this other thing, you are going to feel miserable pretty much. It is cool when you can make money out of art. I think it's a skill and I think it's a learnable skill. But at the same time, the self critique and the rumination and the blaming of, oh, you're so incapable of making money out of this, I think is all bullshit. I think art is something that you do for you, it's for your soul, it's for your mental health, it's for your own sense of self worth and satisfaction with yourself. and nobody else can come and tell you that you're a failure because you haven't find a way to monetize it. Sometimes it's like, why do I have to monetize it? Sometimes people are like, oh, I would love to make money out of my craft. And it's like, well, you have to define how do you want to make money out of your craft, and you have to do all that work and feeling okay with that. I definitely struggled with that for so long. The whole making money out of it. Because I felt like it came from such a pure source, and now it was being tainted by the idea of making money out of it. But it's stupid because today I learned something very interesting, which is um, transactions, monetary transactions, is just an exchange for people to help them. It doesn't have to be taken from you. It only means helping somebody need that they need what you have and you're giving it. And there's this exchange of, if I'm getting value out of it and this value is helping me to grow and become a better person, why is this a wrong thing? Why is this bad? Um, and that's true because we always are exchanging money. We're always exchanging value. And if I feel that something is really making my life better, hell yeah. Would I give money to that? Yeah. If I feel the value is like great and it's going to make my life 1,000 times better, I wouldn't mind paying for it. Even if you have to get that extra job, that extra thing still makes sense. So I'm working on this. Um, and waiting for somebody to show up. Although I think I'm going to invite some friends and say, hey, they want to hang out with me? I'm in my studio. And that's the whole idea, to be honest. It was to keep myself accountable and I make it that I will show up. And I noticed that for me, when I say to the world, I'm gonna be here every day at the same time, it works. Like I will do it. I have this appointment with somebody. While if it's something that I do for myself, it's not gonna happen. I don't have the drive, the motivation. I need that extrinsic energy of knowing that this is a collaboration, that this is something that I'm building with people and not something that is me selfishly being alone. I also believe that people are way too lonely these days. Yeah, you don't notice the damage because in the moment you are focused on the work, but eventually it catches up, and this lack of human connection with other people, it will destroy you. It will really damage you, and suddenly you're feeling empty. You're feeling um, lonely, and even you start wondering, why am I doing this in the first place? And it's because we've been drilled in our heads that this is the lifestyle, right? This is what we're supposed to be. This is what we're supposed to do. And we were never designed to be all day alone doing whatever we're doing. And I used to be a person that enjoyed a lot being alone. Um, but as I grew older, I realized that that was bad for my mental health, and it was bad for my growth as a person. By the way, find the chat button. There's a chat button in this YouTube thing. I can find it pretty easily. It looks like the comments section, and just type and say hello, and then I can talk to you. But if not, I'm gonna continue talking to myself like crazy rambling people. Um, what happened to the music? Oh, it is playing in the background. Sometimes that happens with Sonos. Stops playing because something else tries to take the audio control. I like that music. Yeah, that's the music I like, lo-fi. It is very good for people like me. Very soothing. It doesn't have much content. It's just a feeling. It's a mood. But it's not jazzy. It doesn't make you think about what's going on. Like why are they doing what they're doing? This is more like for your own fun, for your own enjoyment. So I'm replicating what Mr. Ray he did in the crochet class. And to recap, what I did in the crochet class was um, was to kind of experiment how I'm going to do the spinal column, the vertebrae. The way he did it, I was like, I don't like that style. That's not me. So I came up with this, which is kind of more blocky, more sci-fi type of mecha suit, but I like it better. I like it better. Maybe at the end I will try to make some shifts. But right now I'm like, no, I just like it this way. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And to be honest, the teacher said, don't worry too much about keeping count of the vertebrae because you're going to go crazy. He was a little bit right. Yesterday, I struggled with that part. I definitely struggled with the whole counting the vertebrae. So, but I am who I am. I was like, I need to have the exact count of vertebrae or it's going to drive me crazy. So that's what I did. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep count. So I redid this strip at least 3 times because I was getting an extra vertebrae, like a 13th vertebrae. And I was like, no, that's not what it is. So I cut it off and then I recounted, and now I know that this is exactly where they belong. This is where they belong. And now I can do the lumbar section with exactly 5 vertebrae. And then I have left the 7th vertebrae of the neck. And is this looking amazing? No, it's not, but I'm not really stressing much about it. It is a clean. Is this clean? Not really. It's kind of nasty. But I think when it gets a little more dry, I will have a better way to keep it from being too, I don't know, sloppy. That's the word, sloppy. I don't like sloppy. I like things to be precise, and that's what I love. The hard clay, the NSPL hard clay that they have. That's my favorite one, the gray one, my favorite, because it's so hard that you can really mold and have very defined edges. This one has a pretty color, but it's kind of wobbly. Not my style. I'm like, oh gosh, this is so ugh. Um, yeah, but it gets the job done. So, yeah, it works. Um, this is such a fun project that I will recommend it to any artist. Just if you're in your master's academy and you want to do this class, make an agreement with somebody and just meet to work on it. This is what I've been doing with Anne Malik from Imaginatomy Workshop. She's another of the students of that workshop, and we decided to spend at least 1 hour each week working on these. And because I started this channel and this live streaming challenge for myself, it made sense to continue working on the crochet and continue advancing it at the level that I want it to be. Because that's the other part of it is like, okay, you're working in something. How good do you want this something to look like? And I have the time and I have the opportunity to work on it every day when I'm live streaming. So, of course, I'm going to spend a little more time that she probably is going to spend in certain parts. Now, to keep consistency, right? It's like, oh, okay, how does this is gonna work? You have to rub it around, make sure that it's hanging into the clay. Hmm. Maybe this one has to be a little higher here. Say it here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut a little bit of this structure here to make it fit better. And that's the thing, you're gonna make some decisions based on what you have and say, okay, I'm willing to sacrifice the structure to have a flow or rhythm, or at least to make everything more harmonious in your sculpture. But coming back to you guys, yeah, this is a very fun project. And you also love with memory because now you built it and you didn't build it digitally. I'm going to tell you something. When you build it with clay, it really stays in your head. When you do it digitally, I did stuff similar in ZBrush, and it's just an automated thing. There's a lot of things that the computer do for you, then you forget about it. It doesn't really register. Well, when you do it with your hands and you have to really count and engage with the sculpture, your memory is going to be more substantial about where things go. So I highly recommend you to do this project, even though it's kind of tedious and you have to do it manually and you have to do the symmetrical stuff. At the end of the day, for your memory, is gonna do wonders. You're more than welcome to join us, and we're available if somebody wants to join from NMA and you want to do this with us. You're more than welcome. Um, and everybody's on different sections, right? So probably you're gonna be in a different section than what I'm gonna be, and the same with Anne. But we just hang out, work on it, and talk about other things in life, our plans, the things that we're focusing on. We kind of share a little bit of information on what courses are out there, what things are really important to study and valuable, or what things are now worth our time. Man, 3:10 p.m. I think I started earlier. So I'm gonna send a reminder to people that hey, I'm here hanging out. So, okay, I'm looking at my books about how this is gonna work out. I'm gonna move. I really want to move this guy. I want to get him out of the way, sincerely, because I have a feeling that he's gonna fall, and I'm gonna be very sad if it breaks. So I'm gonna move this tiny book here. And if it falls, it's not the end of the world, but I don't want to risk it. And then I have another book here, anatomy, anatomy for sculptures. I don't know if you can see my book. Yeah, I have two books. So this one is more the realistic rendering of how it should look like. And based on what I'm looking at here, these processes should be very big. And I'm not getting a lot of that. But I'm not gonna sweat it too much. I don't want it to be hyper realistic neither. I just want it to go smoothly around. I think it looks good. Overall, it looks pretty good. Now I need to see how it's wrapping what is in the front. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm working on the sides, trying to connect what I have in the front to that wrapping, to that shift. Whew. Yep. And here it is. Oh, looking good. I'm excited. I'm excited. And my poor guy looks a little disjointed here because I wanted to give, I don't know if you can see it, but I wanted to give like an S shape to the vertebral column because of the way the leg is working. So he's putting all his weight in this main leg, and this one is like shifted forward. So when that happens, the entire body has to shift a little to the side because you have to compensate. And usually this is the center. So I like to push this to the side, bring it in, based on my guide. Usually what the books teach is that your anchoring point of the leg, that is the thing that establishes your center line, especially when you have these. But it kind of shifts a little bit because nothing is perfect. So I wanted to kind of move this to the side. I wanted to push this to the side, and it created a little bit of issues here in my hip because I was forcing the armature. But I like it better because it has this, the tilt of the hip, and now you have the S going around like it should do, with that contrapposto. Maybe I will exaggerate the contrapposto. Um, but to be honest, in the rib cage, you don't get so much movement because you have the entire rib cage kind of turning this into a one piece section. You get more of that break here and then here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to create that S shape, but I figure that I should have done that before I put all the clay. If I try to do it now, I'm gonna be um, smashing the the spinal processes. So yeah, you learn by doing. You learn by doing for sure. And also, I like to spend time working on my stuff. I'm not gonna lie. When I decide to do something, I want it to be like close to professional level. Um, so I spend a ton of time, and sometimes I even go back and I redo things. What happened? Uh, yeah, technology. So yeah, that's what I've been kind of doing, finishing this part. And I'm gonna keep this live streaming short, but I'm gonna keep it saved because I'm not doing a lot of music. Music is not working for me today. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep the live streaming, and from my Imaginatomy group, you can also learn from what the students before you have gone through when doing this 3D figure, anatomy figure. I always forget the name in anime. Build your own anatomy figure. I always forget that name. For some reason, it doesn't stick. But yeah, so learn from our mistakes. I wish I have learned that. Somebody have told me ahead of time, these are the potential issues. But you learn by doing. I don't feel that the things that you're going to encounter are really terrible. And there is more, you get more out of it than, you get definitely more pleasure than pain. And even at the end, even if the sculpture is not, it's not like a professional model, um, you feel satisfied because you did it, and it's a memory lane. It's a snapshot of all the decisions you made and the things you learned along the way and the things you know that you shouldn't have done. So I think it's cool. I think it's cool. It's gonna be awesome. I'm feeling more excited about it now that I shifted the entire pose and it's look a little more realistic. Um, and then when we do the arms, probably I'm gonna make a pose with my arms. I'm gonna bend it in a way, make it look natural. I'm not gonna leave it like hanging like that. No. And then I love making skulls, so I know the skull is gonna be super fun for me to do. I even have a reference skull from Anatomy Tools. So I'm gonna definitely be using that as a frame to get things done correctly. Yeah, so things I have to bring them a little bit out, make them look better. But the clay is so Gummy, I'm not willing to really experiment much with it. This clay is super dry, and I was cheap and I didn't want to spend money again because I already bought 2 blocks that they were dry. And I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do this. And I didn't know, how soft it's supposed to look like. I just purchased the clay without knowing. I assume every clay is good enough. It's hard rock. This is hard rock. You cannot even do anything to it. You put an indentation, it barely goes in. So you know that this is very dry. This one, I have to put the oil conditioner to make it smooth and turn it from crumbling and falling apart into a chewing gum type of thing. And at the beginning, it's a little softy, but as the day goes, it gets drier and drier. So it is its own challenge. Okay. Um, Things that I have to do for the YouTube channel is that I need to brainstorm what people would like. I have friends all around, and I'm like, my impression is that people are very lonely, especially artists. And it is time for artists to have a group of people, a club that they can join and have this, human relationship and these friendships, and this support, and then a little bit of reality checks, because it is so easy to believe so many lies out there because you're isolated. And that's the good thing about hanging out with people, is to realize that we are all victims. I don't like the word victims, but results of our environment. And we're dealing with the same stresses and things like that. And we're debating the same decisions. And so when you join a group like that, call it community, call it a club, you're not alone anymore. You have this other aspect. And I feel that doing live stuff is very helpful for people. It's very helpful. You come out of it on the other side feeling so much better. And I can even tell you that it should be something that is done every day. You should have a community call with your peers every day. That's gonna really make a change in your life, in your sense of your own value, in your mental health. I don't know if somebody has show up. Apparently not. Um, so yeah, my live streaming today is gonna be short, but I wanted to show you. It's looking good. It's not gonna be perfect. I'm not going for perfection here. I just wanted it to be, closer to my own feelings of what I would like. Um, and then try to smoosh it in with what is already there. Just smoosh it, make it part of the system. Yeah, smoosh it a little bit. My concern is when I bake it, if all these things are going to separate because you have air in between and sound is not working. That's my main concern. And I think I have to push it in to make sure that no air is being left in there. So this year is going to be a cool year if nothing in the outer world ruins my year. Which there's a lot of people out there in positions of power trying to ruin it. Not me specifically, but for many, many people. And I'm just amazed how we are all falling victim to that. It's like we are all so apathic at this point because we feel that we have zero power to change things, which is not true. We have power. We can protest. We can speak our minds online. We can share education with other people just to open their eyes. Because I feel that the media is just acting as, is using us as agents on the matrix, and we're just working for the matrix. Um, People are so excited about the political environment. I'm like, I don't know what you're excited about because this is awful. This is so bad, and it's not only bad on the short term, it's gonna be so bad in the long term. And how is that humanity always falls for the same traps? How can people continue making the same mistakes? I think it's just education at the end of the day. It's like people need to get educated, but it's so hard. There's so much contamination of the information on the internet. So many bad actors trying to manipulate the rhetoric, the narrative, and I don't even know at this point why they do it because nobody's winning. Nobody's gaining anything positive out of this. People should be more aware of the damage you do is going to come back to you and bite you in the butt. And that's karma, my friend. Like whatever you do is going to come back to you and teach you a lesson. And people continue falling for the same mistakes. I don't get it. I just did a repeat of the same stuff all over again. And if you're curious about what I'm talking, is everything. Some people are like, oh yeah, we're free. I'm like, how is your country free? How did you fix the problems that got you there in the first place? You didn't, so you're not free and you haven't moved forward not even a step. You were just stuck in the same place again and again. So it's so sad to see that humanity is running into the same uh, rock, stepping onto the same rock and falling again and again. It's so sad. So sad. But today, my meditation is non attachment. You cannot be attached to anything. That's true Zen Buddhism. So I was like, okay, no attachment it is. I was feeling very attached to my beliefs, my ideas, my pains, my traumas. And I thought this is a great opportunity to liberate myself and free myself from that trigger. And with anything in life, when you feel super triggered, that's the opportunity to liberate yourself from this trigger. Not that you're going to accept it and say, oh, I'm not going to worry or I'm not going to do anything about this trigger, but mainly like, is this really something that I have to react every time like this? Or there's a response that I can co create that's going to make me feel more empowered? And that's what I've been trying to come with. Yesterday I had a bad night. I got triggered with the whole political bullshit that's going on. And I was like, yeah, what can you do today to embody in your inner nervous system the concept of non-attachment? Even a stillness. Like, how can you be still when the entire perceived environment and world is falling apart? And it's very hard because, when programs run deep and you've been programmed since birth to react, to feel certain things, those emotions are running the show. Those emotions are like running the show for you. And in the moment, it's so hard to get over it. It's so hard to be like, and this is the perfect moment to meditate and not ruminate, right? It's like, excuse me, no, I want to vent and I want to get it all out there. So yeah. Everybody's being triggered. Everybody's being triggered. Many of my friends are being like super triggered. And even children are being so triggered. Children are being triggered. But the good news is that I'm going to be practicing Kundalini awakening. So I'm looking forward to that. I did in the past without any personal coaching or guidance, and it blew up in my face. It didn't go well. Like, yes, I felt the energy and all this stuff, but it didn't really do much for me. Because I didn't know what to do with information. I think for a lot of people, Kundalini awakening is it's kind of like it happens, but because you don't know what is the purpose or the use for it, you just discard it like whatever. It's like that. What is the purpose of this? It's not gonna make me any better. It's just having all this overload of sensorial input that I don't know what to do about it. So I'd rather go back to my mental, regular way of perceiving reality that is more manageable, and that we all agree into what it is. While if you are this type of a spiritual person, and now you need to understand reality from a different perspective, and you need to find a mentor, and you need to find your own community, and it's just getting you out of your comfort zone so badly. Not everybody's up for that, but I am. I've been experiencing some Kundalini awakening for sure. I love the energy, and even if I couldn't tell you if it is changing or not. I think it is changing stuff for me. But even if I cannot see the direct connection, um, I do enjoy the flow of the energy and the sensations. And just experiencing another level of consciousness is cool. And you can always tune it down. It's not like you have to, feel overwhelmed all the time by all this sensorial overload. It's like, yeah, you can close it. You can tune it down. And that's what you do when you practice Qigong is you do all the energy and you have all this energy running and the healing and all the stuff. And then you go and close the gates, the energy gates, and that's it. It's done. Like once you close the energy gates, your energy goes back to what's supposed to be its normal state. So it's really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to that practice. Okay, it's cool. It's looking good. Very pretty. I feel very grateful and very blessed because I have so many people helping me in my journey. That is not a joke. People that are just gracefully giving me their time to help me out. Some people, for some reason, they were like, "No, I want to hang out with you." For some reason, I don't know what is the thing that I'm triggering in them, or what is it that they are rejecting in me. But I think eventually they will come back and say, "You know what? I was an ass. Um, let's hang out." Because I do feel that I have wisdom for people. Actually, in one of my readings using Marie Diamond's system, you get numbers, and Marie Diamond is like a Feng Shui master, Feng Shui or whatever you want to call it. It's about how to decorate your environment, following specific things that it will potentiate and enhance and amplify the way that things in your life, different areas of your life, are going to work. And she's magnificent. She's a master of energy. And Marie Diamond is incredible, but in her system, you have like personalities, or I don't know, I don't remember what you call them. And I was a 7. I think it's 9. And I was the 7th, which is the advisor that I give good advice. So I'm thinking, yeah, a lot of people, they need advice, right? Especially when it's good quality advice. I cannot tell you that I give myself great advice. People give me great advice. I don't give myself the best advice. I try though. I try. But I give also good advice to other people. Things that I have learned on my own, things that I experienced on my own, and I was like, I'm done with this. I don't need this belief or this bullshit rule or anything like that. And then when I see it on other people, it's like, yeah, friend, look, I don't do that anymore. You should not do it anymore because it's really crap. And one of the things that I learned most importantly is that you need to change your state, period. That's something that Tony Robbins has taught in every program that he has, is that you need to change your inner state, and the man is 100% correct. Change your inner state. I don't know how you're gonna do it. The way he does it is great, but at the same time, it's really hard because if you come from total self-hatred, negativity, and to just have the lowest state of your life and you're feeling like shit, and somebody comes and say, oh, you need to jump and say you're the best and all this stuff, it's like your body, your nervous system is like, I'm not going to do that, right? Your unconscious is like, no, we're not going to do that. It takes so much willpower to that shit, and the only way people do it is when they are with a lot of other people doing it, like in those big immersive events that Tony Robbins throw, or when you have, Tony Robbins doing it with you in some format, and he has all this energy that really gets into you, then yes, you're gonna do that. But then on your own, when you have to do it on your own, ooh, pretty bad. Pretty bad to get there. So I think that's the most important training, is to change your inner state at command. And even Tony, he was struggling with this in the pandemic, because his entire thing was being shut down. And first he was concerned for his money. He was like, oh my God, how is my businesses are going to survive? How these my employees are gonna get paid, right? He's like, all these people are depending on me. And he's a very serious, responsible man when it comes to that stuff. He really takes serious the lives of the people that depend on him. I think he's a great boss, great human being. But at the same time, he was struggling with his own advice. He was like, I really don't feel like I can tell myself my same advice. But because he's the teacher, he's like, I have to do it. So he got into state and he did his whole thing, even though he was feeling pretty depressed. And how do I know this? Is because he shared with us in the first UPW online. By the way, I'm going to go back to the UPW next year, because that event is insane. It really gets you skyrocketing. I mean, the energy is insane, and Tony Robbins is magnificent at delivering, motivational speeches. And also he's very practical. He's about sit down, write it down, journal, and all those things. But anyway, he did it, and he called his friend Dean Graziosi, which was the guy that was doing all this stuff digitally in the technology online world. And Tony's like, Tony, I need Dean, I need help with this. I know how to do it. And Dean is like, Tony, don't worry, we can do this. And he figured it out, and they did it, and it was amazing. One of the best things that I did in my life was to go to the UPW. That really got me unstuck. That was the beginning of me getting unstuck. And I went with the purpose of reclaiming my art for myself, because I just felt so betrayed by my art, and I just walked away from it. I didn't want to look at my art ever again. And in a sense, my art is my connection to higher source, or, wisdom, or, answers, guidance, presence. It's a very full package for me when I do art. So Tony got me unstuck. I mean, he's the man. Hands down, he's the man. He got me unstuck in life so many times that I would be ungrateful if I didn't say that he is the man. He's definitely the man. And he has changed the life of so many people. Even when people say he's all about the money, and that's bullshit, because you can spend, well, the UPW, I think we spent $200, maybe less. I don't remember, but let's say $250 for an event online that goes from, I think it was like since 8 a.m. in the morning till midnight, 1 a.m., non-stopping, maybe with 1 hour break for food, and then go back to it, and you're jumping and doing things, and they're giving you all this information and all this map of what your life can look like, and the things that get in the way. And they make this inner state shifts for people. And he did it online. And you only pay $250 for that. That's a freaking deal. Like, take it, because that's a freaking deal. These days, it is more expensive, I think, that they cranked it up, because it became so popular, and it was so convenient for so many business people that are actually changing the world. And that's the thing. Tony Robbins, his focus is in making the world a better place. So he wanted to train and deliver the services to the people that are having a real impact in the world. And he's also entrepreneurial, so he believes more in, in business people really making a change. But anyway, that was a great way for me to get to dig myself out of the hole. And it was all thanks to Tony. And I will always say he's the man. He's the guy. I really love other teachers. You get a lot out of them, but Tony is kind of like that source of energy, and he gets you moving. He's such a powerful force that you will move. Doesn't matter who you are, how low in your life you are. He really gets you moving. And having him work with you is such a gift. He has worked with people with terrible trauma, really horrible things, and he helped these people. He gave all his energy to help them reclaim who they are. He was the mirror to show them part of you wants to become this, and it's possible. I'm going to reflect it back to you. And he did it, and he didn't waver. So he's an amazing guy. And I would suggest you, if you're struggling with stuff, look for Tony Robbins. You can even find his stuff for free online. And you just have to dig a little bit. Some people put it on their, torrents or some stuff like that. I definitely found it when I was in Ukraine. Somebody, a beautiful soul, put all that information in one torrent, and it was just folders and folders of trainings and courses for free. I stumbled upon it and I downloaded the whole thing, and it took weeks to download it because it was gigs and gigs of information. And then when I found it, I was like, holy cow, I didn't know that there was this universe of people doing this shit. And they all have different approaches, different thinking. And since then, I'm hooked. Like, this is totally me. This is what I like to be. This is what I resonate with. So I still do it. I still belong to Mind Valley. Mind Valley has been great. Affordable, definitely affordable. If you want to learn more about stuff, you can join Gaia. I don't know much about Gaia. I just feel like Gaia is a little bit disconnected from, it's a little more esoteric and wishy-washy, and I don't know. And with Mind Valley, I feel that they're a little more practical and realistic about. They're mostly oriented for business people to also work on their spiritual side. Gaia feels to me a little more like mainly spiritual stuff. But I don't know. Don't believe me. I haven't really get into Gaia. Somebody mentioned it to me. I look at it. I didn't like the training that they had there. I was like, I'm gonna stick to my body. And I really like my body. It's really powerful, really great teachers all around. Very good stuff. I did 2 masters and one challenge, live cohorts, with people working with you, teachers, coaches, answering your questions, and that's just magnificent. Just because you're a member, you get all that. So it's amazing. The amount of things that they put into it, and I'm glad so people can purchase more. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into implementing what I learned, because buying courses forever is not going to make you implement. Actually, in another program that I did, they said that the trap for self-growth people is that they feel very comfortable in their learning mode, and they never go into implementation mode because that's where the pain is. And they rather stay reading books and doing programs forever, but never really doing the work to test and see if they're really implementing things correctly, and to go back to your coach and say, well, this is what I tried. It didn't work out. So I always remember Stacy Martino saying those things, and I'm like, oh yeah, she's 100% right. Like, you do a course and then you go and implement it, and when you get stuck, you get one-on-one coaching with the expert, and you go like, okay, this is where I'm standing. This is the problem. And you have to be honest about it. You know, a lot of people also fall in the trap of acting out like everything is wonderful in their lives and they are not having any constraints or snacks, anything like that. I'm like, no, you have to be honest and say, this is not working. What else can I do? Can you guide me? Can you explore with me my alternatives? Because if you don't do it when the coach is there, you're not going to come up with a solution later. Okay. This is looking good. I like it. I like it. I'm gonna try to move. Let me see what time is it. It's time. I'm gonna try to move to the neck and be done with the entire thing. But man, I didn't think I would be able to finish it. Really. I thought I wouldn't be able to finish it, but it's looking good. The lumbar was very simple. And I think eventually I will come back and try to carve it and make it look a little more like the real deal. But to be honest, it's really hard to make it look like the real deal because of the way it's been built. um, it's just to create an illusion, you know, an illusion of what these processes behave. Hmm. And I also think that I'm going to change the time that I do these things when I finish my AI mastery. By the way, also my body, the AI mastery. Hola, hola, Pablo, ¿cómo estás? ¿Te uniste ahora? Estaba hablando delante de la cámara porque iba a dejar este video guardado y se lo iba a mandar a la gente del grupo de Imaginatomy porque estoy trabajando en el de corché y estoy explicando las cosas que están pasando para que ellos tengan un poco de feedback. Escríbeme si me oyes bien. En teoría me debes escuchar. Ay, Dios mío. No sé si hay un delay contigo. ¿Me oyes, amor? Te quería preguntar, ¿ya se terminaron las festividades de ustedes? Ya, esto está bastante bien. Y voy a bajarle un poquito. Mis amigas me dijeron, no, no te preocupes, la gente no va a regresar todavía porque allá en Europa están de fiestas hasta el... ¿Qué cosa era? ¿El 14 de enero? No sé si puedes encontrar el chat. El chat es como la parte de comentarios de un video. Y una vez que cliqueas, entonces se comporta como un chat. Pero es la parte de los comments en YouTube. Déjame ver si me estás escribiendo por WhatsApp. Porque yo no he mirado WhatsApp mucho. Me imagino que te salió la notificación, ¿no? Genial. No, no, estás aquí por WhatsApp. Déjame poner de nuevo YouTube. Bueno, no sé, a lo mejor estás ocupada. Voy a seguir con mi diatriba. Estoy aquí hablando boberías. Em, entonces, nada, estaba compartiendo con la gente una muela sobre self-growth y qué estoy haciendo con Mind Valley y todo eso. Ok, vamos allá. El cuello debe ser más pequeñito. Más pequeñito. Va a ser un poquito más pequeño, sí. No necesita ser tan grande como este. Ujú. Bueno, yo aprovecho a hablar entonces en español. Uf, un poquito más allá. Pues sí, el clay este está en candela. Es terrible. Porque está dry y tuve que echarle conditioner. aceite Sculpey Oil Conditioner para volver a suavizarlo. Y está gummy, está muy gummy. Entonces cuando yo trabajo, se comporta weird, no se comporta como debería. Pero en general me gusta la pose, me gusta como logré la pose del esqueleto. Esto aquí quizás lo vaya reduciendo, porque aquí es donde voy a poner los músculos. Al principio lo había hecho pequeño. I did it smaller, but then I saw it and I was like, oh, this is too small. So voy a tener que cortarle un poquito cuando se ponga más duro. Quizás le corto un poco para ponerlo más skinny. Pero la forma en que el maestro lo hizo estaba mejor porque era más tipo huevito. A lo mejor lo que haga es cortarle un flequito, un triangulito y volverlo a empatar para que se vea más como este lado. No sé si lo puedes ver. Subir la cámara. Ya. Aquí se ve como que demasiado encajonado, mientras que aquí es más tipo huevo. Ya. Pero bueno, en general me gusta. La pose está un poco más exagerada para que después con los músculos tenga más ritmo. Esto todavía tengo que aumentar la curva S del contraposto. Pero tengo que hacer con cuidado porque la arcilla está seca y cuando la muevo se craquela. Entonces cuando la muevo tengo que tener cuidado y empezar de nuevo a ponerle más arcilla suave y cómo empatar bien la arcilla esta. Y volver a conectarla y así, ¿no? Pero bueno, esta es la parte que va a tener músculo, no es muy importante. Donde no conectamos músculos, la parte donde se queda el esqueleto. Esto aquí, las costillas, las voy a trabajar más tarde. Ahora mismo están solo puestas ahí suavecito, pero tengo que esperar a que se endurezcan para yo trabajarle mejor los planos y que se vea más unificado. Y aquí, como te dije, quizás recortarle un poco. Recortarlo un poco para que coja más la forma huevito, porque me parece que está muy grande y la idea es que esté más pequeño que esto, no que esté tan gordo. Pero bueno, primero voy a terminar la vértebra. Vértebra aquí. Quizás moverla un poquito para el lado, así, que se vea más. Y como dice el maestro Rey, ¿no? Esto no tiene que ser perfecto. Que dé la apariencia de que funciona. Eso porque nosotras nos ponemos muy piqui con las cosas y queremos que sean perfectas, limpiecitas. Con este material es muy difícil. Quizás con la porcelana se pueda pulir y quede más bonito. Pero con este clay, difícil. Tienes que venir después con una brocha y un químico para ponerlo smooth. Y también quitarle toda la pelusilla. Ya. Pero bueno, gracias por unirte. ¿Tú sabes que es importante que ellos vean que yo tengo un viewer en YouTube con los live streams? Necesito tener views y followers. Menos mal que ese feature no me lo han quitado todavía, porque antes te ponían, antes no, ahora están poniendo la limitante de que a partir de cierta cantidad de suscriptores puedes hacer live streaming. A menos Instagram cambió sus reglas. Y yo no sé si YouTube quisiera hacer eso más adelante. Este canal es relativamente nuevo y tengo que conseguir más suscriptores, ¿no? Tengo que decirle a la gente, suscríbanse para que no me quiten el live streaming feature, porque la verdad es lo que más me interesa, ¿no? Y ese también Rose. What is she saying? Ah, pero esto aquí. Mi setup es muy simple. Es muy simplecito, la verdad. Porque no quería nada muy complejo. Es que me decía mi amigo Brian, no, porque puedes poner esto y este más. Le dije, Brian, eso es prácticamente un estudio de filmación. Yo quiero algo que sea casual y fácil, no meterme aquí a hacer una cosa tan complicada que nunca voy a empezar a hacer el live streaming. Eso lo iré viendo poco a poco. ¿Ve? Aquí lo que hago es quitarle un poco de... Lo estoy haciendo muy... No de la mejor manera, diría yo. Porque entonces se separa. Si no hago muy eso, se separa. Tengo que tener cuidado de no cortarme los dedos yo. Porque esto es una cuchilla. Me estaba acordando de ti y me dije, tengo que mandarle un mensaje a Paola. Porque me di cuenta que estaba cayendo de nuevo en el mismo formato de histeria y de, ¿cómo es? Puntos de dolor. Y Stacy le decía storming, cuando uno está en modo tormenta y hace una tormenta con alguien, ¿no? Y uno dice, voy a caer en modo tormenta con esta persona. Stacy decía, eso es storming, y las mujeres tienden a hacer storming, más que los hombres. Los hombres no les gusta el storming, pero las mujeres lo ven como que es parte del proceso de liberación, ¿no? Y yo estaba teniendo un storming moment. De hecho, ayer te grabé un audio de 1 hora quejándome de un montón de cosas. Y al final me dije, ¿sabes qué? No lo voy a mandar porque eso soy yo venting. Y ya me lo saqué del pecho, no tengo por qué mandárselo a nadie para que me escuche venting. Y entonces lo borré, pero no te mandé la parte importante de, bueno, en qué me estaba enfocando, en qué estaba trabajando y eso. Esa parte estaba en el venting y me dije, bueno, en fin. Le mandé un audio más cortico, más resumido, donde yo no estoy ahí quejándome y culpando al universo y a la gente y no sé qué. No. Tengo que tomar acción y dejar de quejarme tanto. Y si tienes preguntas, puedes escribirlas por el YouTube chat. Si yo tengo gente hablando de cosas de ellos personales y eso, pues yo no lo publico, coge y lo borro. O sea, YouTube por defecto lo guarda, pero yo lo borro. Porque no hago nada, creo que con tener una pila de live streams ahí acumulados, lo que te hace la diferencia es otra cosa. Los likes, los suscriptores, lo que hace la diferencia, ¿no? Hasta donde yo sé, ellos dicen, ah, sí, tuviste tantas horas de gente mirando tu contenido. Y ellos lo van aumentando, ¿no? Están diciendo, ya vas por 10 horas, ya vas por tantas horas con un live stream. Tengo que entrar al canal de YouTube y ver cuál es la idea de la monetización en YouTube y todo eso. Estuve mirando lo del sitio web, que me dijo, voy a publicar ya el sitio web, pero tuve un hiccup, que también te lo iba a mandar en el audio, pero al final me puse a hablar de política y me fui completa. Y después no te mandé la información de lo que he estado avanzando. No sé si me estás escuchando, pero en la página web, si yo quiero publicar la página web en Square, cuando yo fui a conectar mi dominio, creo que te lo mencioné, cuando fui a conectar mi dominio, me pide una suscripción pagada. Y yo me dije, bueno, vamos a ver cuánto es, $30. Me dije, no va a suceder, no va a pagar $30 por esto. Entonces, la AI sugirió un workaround ahí. Me dije, bueno, voy a probar ese workaround por el momento, porque no me quiero meter en nada muy heavy. Y tengo que averiguar, creo que ahora mismo en GoDaddy no me sale muy caro tener un sitio. Y GoDaddy provee el dominio. Pero creo que WordPress es el más barato. Y si te deja utilizar el dominio de afuera. Entonces tengo que ver qué es lo que me conviene. Porque quizás una página más o menos normalita en WordPress no requiera tanto mantenimiento. Pero yo sé que tú me puedes dar más información al respecto de WordPress, de que vas a hacer WordPress o no. Porque yo lo que no quiero es mantenimiento y todas las personas que utilizan WordPress me dicen, oh, WordPress tiene mantenimiento. O sea, no es una cosa que tú te desentendiste y le escribes a support y support lo arregla. WordPress corre por ti. Y yo me dije, ¿qué va? Yo no estoy para esto, loca. Y lo otro es, ¿cuánto le voy a dar uso a la página web, no? Si la página web va a ser un landing page informativo y es nada más para recolectar newsletters, no necesitas gastarte dinero. Eso lo puedes hacer en cualquier lado. Entonces sería buscar la opción más barata. Y la verdad que en cuanto a mi diseño web no necesito cosas complicadas. Yo lo quiero bien, bien simple. Con poner fotos de mi estudio es más que suficiente para proveer el look. Mm. Pero bueno, dentro de unos minutitos creo que me voy a ir del live stream porque mi esposo me pidió que llevara a los niños a un cumpleaños y yo le dije que no en un principio, pero ahora me da cargo de conciencia y me dijo, bueno, en fin, yo voy al cumpleaños. No, no porque fuera un problema de un inicio, pero me dije, bueno, si la gente se va a presentar y va a interactuar conmigo, normalmente la gente se queda como 20 minutos, una hora. Nunca se conectan a las 3, se conectan más tarde cuando se empiezan a cansar del trabajo y necesitan un break. Eh, y yo me dije, bueno, si la gente se conecta, ya yo había hecho ese plan, ¿no? De que vamos a hangout. Y lo otro fue que le dije a mi esposo, si no lo pones en el calendario, no puedes contar conmigo. Yo lo pongo todo en el calendario, precisamente para que tú te planifiques y hables conmigo con antelación y me dejes saber, oye, hace falta que tú te hagas cargo de los niños o hace falta que, tú sabes, yo me voy a ir de vacaciones a no sé dónde y tú vas a estar a cargo de los niños ese tiempo. Y yo me planifico acorde, ¿no? Digo, ok. Y como la familia le insiste en que eso no es una realidad, que el calendario y los appointments no son reales, yo me digo, bueno, tienes que aprender. De alguna manera tienes que aprender y ya yo lo he advertido muchas veces, que si no está en el calendario, it's not gonna happen. Eso significa que no vas a poder ir a tu actividad porque no planificaste acorde con la persona que tenía que sustituirte en esa labor. Tú me dirás, "Ay, pero es una pelea tonta". Sí, es una pelea tonta, yo lo sé, pero ¿qué me molesta? Me molesta esa falta de planificación, de respeto al tiempo de los demás. En otra época en mi vida, que yo no hubiera tenido ningún plan, yo lo hubiera hecho. Está bien, tú quieres que vaya, yo voy, no pasa nada. Pero si yo realmente quiero construir un negocio, tengo que planificar mi tiempo, tengo que estructurarme, manejar mis horas. No puede ser así como que, bueno, pero yo hice el compromiso de que los niños iban a esta actividad y nunca te informé. Y de hecho, no te hubiera informado si no me hubieras preguntado, porque yo incluso pregunté cuál es el plan tuyo. Y me dijo, no, yo pensaba irme a montar eso y tú tienes que llevar a los niños a una fiesta de cumpleaños. Y me dijo, ¿cómo? Y esto no me lo podías haber dicho antes para yo saber si iba a ir a hacer mi live streaming antes, cómo me voy a... En no es un big deal, es un big deal. A ver cómo lo soluciono. Ok, un poquito mejor. Tía, esta arcilla está tan mala que yo tengo la impresión de que cuando yo termine el corché, esto va a explotar como un psiquitraque. Cuando yo le meta calor, todos los problemas van a salir, ¿eh? A mí le meto un calor bien bajito. ¿Tú sabes? Bien bajito para que esta cosa no se me despegue. Eso es lo que hay. Ok. Es lo mejor. Es lo mejor. Qué desastrería es. Como dices tú, el clay normal, sí, el clay normal. Pero me iría mejor. Pero bueno. eh, creo que es más barato, más barato. Mucho más. No sé si me has escrito. No, no me has escrito. Pero se suponía que fuera un poquito más thick. Mm, pero bueno, después la pueda fortalecer cuando tenga la formita de huevito. La mejor, ¿eh? A ver, enseñarte. Yo creo que está grande. Comparado con el rib cage. Definitivamente demasiado grande. Ah, rap. A él le quedó mucho mejor a mi maestro Ray Busto, le quedó más chiquitico. Y él tiene razón porque te dice, cuando le pongan los músculos se va a ver muy bulky. Y a mí sí, es verdad. Y en su momento cuando lo puse, estaba como que bien. Y después lo seguí trabajando y lo seguí trabajando y se puso cada vez más bulky, cada vez más grueso. Y ahora lo veo y me digo, es que está demasiado grueso. Demasiado grueso. Eh, Too thick. Too thick. Oh, but overall, it's looking good. I mean, it's a fun project. It's a fun project. Overall. It's something that is worth people's time. Let me see. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up because I wanna take the kiddos to the birthday. Um, and that's it. It's like, I hope that is outside in the park. Espero que la fiesta sea en el parque afuera porque ay, están encerrados en un edificio nuevo. Y no hace tanto frío, la verdad. En este momento no sé. Ya creo que la semana que viene, ¿cuánto estamos? 9. Ya la semana que viene regresa Ana y yo debería tener listo, a menos todo lo que es la columna vertebral y las costillas deberían estar terminadas para cuando Ana regrese, porque yo creo que eso es lo que ella tenía hecho. Y yo estaba un poco behind, porque me metí a arreglar los pies y me metí a arreglar los huesos de las piernas. Mientras que ella estaba avanzando en otras cosas y no cogiendo tanta lucha con el detallito y la bobería como yo. Entonces, claro, a mí me tocó aprovechar y trabajar, ¿no? Y decir, bueno, I have to catch up con ella para poder hacer esto el próximo jueves. Mm. Y tengo que ver, a preguntarle a Basha si me rentaría, me subrentaría em, su cuenta de meetings para yo hacer live streaming a YouTube en vivo. Ah, y ver si es algo que a esta chica le interese también, ¿no? No le interesa. Yo sé que ella quiere sacar adelante su arte, so tener una presencia online, it's not bad, it's actually good. Este es interesante porque 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Este es el más cuadradito de todas las vértebras. Es bien cuadradito. Es un punto intermedio entre las costillas y la vértebra lumbar. No sé si tú has hecho este tipo de trabajo, pero mirando los dibujos y las ilustraciones, me llamó mucho la atención ver la estructura de esta vértebra. Esta en teoría va así, o sea, voy a cortarla como una cuchilla. Porque no es que tú tengas una super salida, sino que esta hace un cortecito diagonal, así. Me imagino que te estés transportando si no puedes hablar. No sé si te fuiste, ¿eh? A yo estoy hablando sola ahí como loco. O es que no tengo forma de saber si tú estás o no. No me lo enseña el OBS. Si lo estuviera haciendo quizás directo de YouTube, si me lo mostrase. Es más cuadro. Son relativamente grandes, pero este es más pequeño. Claro, se dirige hacia arriba. Mm. Y las demás, no, bueno, apuntan una hacia la otra. No sé si lo ven. Supuestamente esta vértebra apunta hacia arriba, esta es intermedia, un cuadradito. Esta apunta hacia arriba, estas dos apuntan la una hacia la otra y estas también. Mm. Sí, es así como te digo. Bueno, gracias por venir y estar aquí conmigo. No sé si estuviste o no estuviste, pero te aprecio que te hayas presentado para ayudarme con el live streaming y los views. Em, y nada, ya el fin de semana si no, si hago live streaming será algo muy casual, ¿sabes? No, nada programado. Y déjame ver, empezar a ver cómo voy a hacer esta cuestión aquí. Oh, good word. Tienes que volver a pintarlo todo. So, déjame ver. Esta es la 1, la 2, la 3, la 4, 5, 6, 7. Ok, perfecto. El cuello se lo está haciendo un poco más recortado porque me parece que estaba muy largo el cuello. Y esa es una de las cosas que que uno siempre comete el error cuando está haciendo el coche, como la cabeza no está, uno tiende a hacer el cuello de jirafa, ¿no? Porque es como que necesitas cuello. Y después te das cuenta de que, no, pero el cuello es una bobería. En el peor de los casos, volveré a hacer esa parte. Pero no sé. Ahora mismo lo voy a hacer así. Esta es la vértebra esa del cuello, estas son las otras pequeñas vértebras. Mm, mm. Son 7 vértebras. ¿Ya las medí? Yo no tengo exactamente la misma herramienta que tenía Mr. Ray, la que él utilizó para hacer las vértebras, por lo tanto las mías están más primitivas que las de él. Pero, mm, it's okay, it's okay. It can work, creo yo. Vaya, vamos a ver las vértebras del cuello. Las vértebras del cuello son súper peculiares, ¿eh? Son bien pequeñitas, bien chiquititas. Y la del Atlas es bastante flat. A ver si con la otra herramienta que me enseñó logro hacer un mejor trabajo porque no veo muy bien lo que hice. Es muy bulky. Limpiarlo. Limpiarlo del otro clay, el clay gris. Pues si se mezclan, se podría. Ahí estaba poniendo música, pero después lo quité. Bueno, el estaba aquí. Y no sé, se entra en concentración. Tomate negro. Mm. Ah, sí. Dice, tiene más la formita, pero no, quedó muy nice. Quedó en candela. No, no voy a mentir, quedó muy bueno. Bueno, lo que voy a hacer es voy a terminar el live streaming y voy a llamar a mi esposo, ¿ok? Gracias por venir. Chao. Bye.